I am going to give Ryan Horvat a spread, and it's always featuring the favorite. And then he is going to give me, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, his confidence to cash on that favorite. Ryan Horvat, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right, well, let's. I came out the womb and it was bleeding orange and blue because my Fighting Illini taking on Michigan State in Champaign on Saturday. Kickoff at 1:30 local time. And again, I'm going to be in attendance. I'm probably going to have a beer in hand and hopefully watching my Illinois Fighting Illini win a sweat-free game. But probably unlikely it's going to be sweat-free. Illinois laying 3.5 in this one against the Spartans. Horvat, what is your confidence in cash?
All right, so here, I'm not going to bet this one, so this is only a 1 out of 5 for me. I know a lot of people that like Michigan State, and they're looking at the strength of schedule, right? Like Michigan State started the year, I believe they were 3-0. They had that win over Maryland as 8.5-point dogs. Outright, they won that game. And they have some tough losses. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Oregon. They lost to Michigan. They lost to Iowa. They lost to Indiana. So some really good teams. But still, man, they've been good to me against the spread. But now with just a 3-point spread, because they did take some money, I would lean Illinois, right? Like Illinois got off to a fast start, 6-1 on the year. They beat Kansas. They beat Nebraska. They beat Michigan. And they've taken a step back. But also, like, let's look who they've lost to. They lost to Oregon on the road, 38-9. They lost to a good Minnesota team, a really underrated Minnesota team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They have a top 15 pass defense, right? And Luke Altmaier has been the strength for Illinois this season. But like Michigan State, man, they've scored 20 or fewer points in 5 of their last 6 games. So when we're looking at a 3.5-point spread, I like Illinois. I think a lot of people are also looking at for Michigan State, like they probably got to win 2 of their next 3. Definitely have to win at least 2 games to be bowl eligible. Illinois is already comfortable because they're already bowl eligible. But I don't know, man. Illinois is at home, their last home game of the season before they close out on the road their last 2 weeks. I think they win this game by at least a field goal. I think you're leaving happy on Saturday. So not a bet for me, but I would only take the ILL here. Give me Illinois.
Oh, you might want to check your Venmo account because you just earned a deposit, my man. Well done on that. So let me give you the numbers nerd background on this. Michigan State, number 76 EPA per play offense, number 51 EPA per play defense. ILL, 44 in offense, 61 in defense. A projection, according to College Football Insiders, Illinois 25.80, Michigan State 20.68 for a difference of 5.11. Illinois, says the numbers nerd, says Ryan Horvat, lay the 3.5. Let's move on. Cal Syracuse, the Golden Bears laying 7.5 in this one, taking on the Orange. Ryan Horvat, what is your confidence in cash?
Oh, man, this one's ugly. This is like a 1 of 5 for me. Cal's been good to me this season. Probably actually should have beat Miami outright. They had a 3-score lead going into the second half. I just worry, are they going to be able to close, especially at 7.5? That's a lot of points. Syracuse has been up and down this season. They're dealing with some injuries, but I would probably take the dog here plus 7.5. Anything over a touchdown. But again, 1 out of 5. Have not bet this one, but it would be Cuse or pass for me.
All right, numbers nerd says Cal 63 EPA per play offense, 50 in EPA per play defense. Q's 32 in offense, 71 in defense. The projection, according to College Football Insiders, Cal 29.48, Syracuse 28.18 for a difference of Cal minus 1.3 advantage. Q's plus 7.5, says the numbers nerd. All right, let's move on to a team that's just barely on the outside looking in right now, the college football playoff ranking, and that is SMU. Zero margin for error. They're laying 16.5 at home against a team that was at one point ranked earlier this season, and that being Boston College. Horvat, what is your confidence in cash?
Yeah, Boston College is going to have to go to their backup. No Castellanos in this game, Thomas Castellanos. So, man, that's a lot of points, though, right? And everything's right there in front of SMU. You worry a little bit about like a trip up or them taking their foot off the gas, some look-ahead spots, because they're going to have to win out and then probably win the ACC championship, beat Miami on a neutral field to make the playoff. I love this roster, though, man. So 1 out of 5, but it would be SMU or pass, even at a big number.
All right, Nimbus Nerd says SMU 16 EPA per play offense, 12 in EPA per play defense, and one of the most balanced teams in the country. BC 69, not so nice, and offense 57 in defense. A projection, according to College Football Insiders, SMU 36.42, Boston College 22.74 for a difference of 13.68. Numbers Nerd says advantage Eagles at plus 16.5. Interesting on that one. Let's go to the marquee matchup of the weekend. Georgia laying 8.5 against the Tennessee Volunteers. What, Ryan Horvat, is your confidence of cash?
Yeah, so this is like, for me, about a 4 out of 5. I laid it with Georgia. I got a better number, but I'd probably play this like up to 10. So the latest, it looks like Nico Imaliava, the starting quarterback for Tennessee, who has been shaky, but he is the starting quarterback, is questionable. If he goes, though, even in this game, Tennessee's going to want to run the ball, right? I mean, they have the second worst run blocking grade in all of Power 4 football, but they have Dylan Sampson, which helps. He has over 1,100 rushing yards this season. He's 7th in the nation. He's got 20 rushing touchdowns, which is only behind Ashton Genty, who's live right now to win the Heisman. And you got Tennessee second right now in rushing yards per game, but that's because they do most of that after initial contact. In fact, 1.6 yards before contact, I should say. And Sampson's been awesome this season. But Georgia's run defense has probably been the best part of their defense. That and the secondary limited in those big plays. So I like Georgia here in this spot. Must-win game, an elimination game. Number seems a little bit high, but they have to bounce back, man. Kirby was pissed off after that loss. You had players celebrating with the opposing team's fan base. Carson Beck has really struggled when he's been under pressure. And that was what was so crazy about last week's game, because Georgia is actually 15th this season in pass blocking grade, 21st in pressure rate allowed. But against Ole Miss, and I think a lot of that is just Ole Miss's defense is for real, Beck was under pressure the majority of that game. He got sacked 5 times. They gave up a 33% pressure rate. And now you're going against Tennessee's defense, which is just as good, man. 6th in pressure rate, 11th in pass rushing grade. James Pierce himself has a 25% pressure rate. So, like, on paper, this seems like a bad matchup, but I just can't trust Tennessee right now in this spot. So give me Georgia, even at a bigger number. 4 out of 5 for
All right.
level. Yeah.
Numbers there, it says Georgia number 10 EPA offense, number 8 EPA defense. Tennessee 25 in offense, but number 2 in the country EPA per play D. The projection, according to College Football Insiders, is Georgia 24.91, Tennessee 21.20 for a difference of 3.71. Advantage Volunteers plus 8.5.